eba anumre se chama Wontumi o man yini na ene de besi yes and my organized boys are ayo boku boys Bolga boys anya kusasi boys ayaba ha e te na due about 4 o'clock no ye pen for ba na so man yi chama Wontumi a ene ha ba wo so apart for ye hu wo mu etuo emfa hu hwe ye notness yaba ni fuvim say ye tuo de am forget e ye sika am forget ye be jan amama hu siasi embema anaba na due.
A few moments later.
Intino Master Ghana for much Sreman Penny, Master the ministers and penny for Ghana penny for you say, I saw me Kayan, Master Mugu a poor much of say, and yes, sir, in person check. Many boys of your baby are Miancas are million Napoconia boys, 70 by Handubi. Minupia, a 7 to bar, or my penny with my woman. No man penny, not a bit of a four boys are medical mind for. A 7 to my pussy for the woman. And SDH for a war. O man mu never boa me enti nkwala me nyu bia a me ko fa na free baby ba ese bufuo ba ye no kasa bi ba ya antwe yi me am wo se don e wi me kai no e bufuo nti me kasa man kasa yi nti me gina akonya wo so mapa o mampani a chew apa Ghana fo nyina chew apa ministers apa a police for national security empedifo nyina me pa mi na chew sa some me kai no o mo ba ne me o makola ne me o mi bia ne o fa che me na ebi ntua so bio na sa me sa koye biemu a na say bopaye na me yeye enti na me baba pacho me pa Ghana for ato.
On a more serious note, the issue achama Wontumi wo musisi ano me my dream one we shouldn't politicize it. Se my dream one ka MPP NDC yemfa nto nchen na yenhwe nokure wo asem ni mu. Se eyampa se chairman ekoje bisia efi Exim Bank ho $10 million se wode ba bedua bro e ma ye de ama free SHS enkoda no adia ene wan ko dua bro no a e wo se chairman odi scan ba wan fa sika na ama wo ko jail se yampa se chairman ye mani contract under Cocoa Rose se onye ena wanye bepemenne na sika no wono hono mo a e wo se oman no etwe na so emfa hone ameneku owom e wo se oman no etwe na so se yampa se ya wode ne contract se wonsi schools e wo manso no sia so na wo makwan a enye nyina wonya kwan ne man omo ena wanya e mayem politicize this issue sisian e the state versus Chama Wontumi. It is alleged say wajisika from mine one muso obeye adwuma wanya adwuma ena yekofo dan ka ena sia di photo nsaye de ede frɛ no namu MPsa makotena tena se wo ho no mo no hwɛ se me MP ka ho a ka 2028 said and Kamaya campaign etia Honorable Joseph Azuma no. Kebeye ne wawa. Obi beka se egi. Uni abe ma nene die. Wayi na men. Na me de radia se wanka ho. Wontumi akwaji sika. So wode kwa kwesi schools. Wode beye kwa o manso mosia so. Hoye MPP stronghold. Ya wo sitting MPP MP. Wanye. Sika ne hye ne to. Na se nemra na sonmu a wo sa MP na kwakwa tena form say we ye demonstration ye free Wontumi me pa che wo emu da ho enema mu ye clear de MP a wo obi abaji wo kurom kwan ho contract na wanye ya che no a wo si ye nya no constituency for no Mama adwinmu nna ho. When you are selecting MPs, they be am say until say ye be and paying for based on competency. O my no enanye ye. Kopem sa abre ni bedru. Na yen yi wo mu based on political colours no. Ghana ye bebre. Anka wo MP a Wontumi abeje contract wo constituency. Na wanye contract no ya che na wo akwatena fam say wo ye demonstration. Meaning say wo kura wase ya chi obi ka ho. I was in next 4 years. MPs a wo mu kotena ho no mu ni nyina constituency for mo to abaditia wo mu because omo fo de Wontumi ye no so seni nya bubo na so omo fo aso moti dwom na mo kasa ye makosuo mu nya aduane no makosuo mu nya aduane ni chama Wontumi akọ discuss wo di dua bro ne de amankora na di wanua scan sheneto $10 million ya chena wo sa ma mi we wo ti dwom se dwom mahama ban ne se dwom mahama na achi Wontumi watata Wontumi se monim the reason I Wontumi ya che no a ya che ne sisie ya ebi no one wako Ezimbang for krafe no mo so edo mo sermon eko ti Ezimbang for de ekura nya mai sisie na ekoko rose contract ye de ma no a wanye eho so bo na sisie de bo no so ne free ho no mo a Ezimbang de no so beba $10 million and ya sanso krompa tete say 1 million per constituency no eno so Wontumi hu bo mo bi because constituencies no wo ma nya sika no se munima eno any issue asisi ano o man ni gina so ne de ntansa de abo no
obia abo aban sikem obia wafa aban ejapade papa John Mahama you don't have 3 months you don't have 4 months you don't have 5 months yes we in 7 January 2025 8 January 2025 go after those people. So you see how why I said Musu party near Musion count over free one when movement. Free one when I stand with one when he why I hear about and then I made over to me go Omuti Etika Yoko can I say be I don't want to be na territory. And I'm going to come to almost a French amount to me. Can you imagine? I said, your memoir, Obi Bro, and Rasso, Sanity, yet in I am Rassif, Sanity, Nasa so, oh, yeah, dear. Sabi Fakumapa, I dream part and air. And bra, I want to tell my own to me, I saw Muku 48 hours, no. Name Rana so, say, as Omujano, no. And now said no more your margin so majority. Almost the bail conditioner is Kakesia for 50 million Ghana cedis and a 23 so. Then you had said, no one said, Bay didn't say, bet my sanya bill no. And see, on Manessa at that Yokoha. Nanyakopo, Asia, Dr. Brian, a champion. And we are and that on one the Japadia, a Siawa said there be a Juno after the year. The 2 quarter baby at that. Want to make sure that they be a party for Mobaha. Now you have got not the day Elwaha was Sadia or the Japadia Siawa. And pa no pa. Roko for a conifia in our share at the team some pacrata in Yano, I mean, sure, buy no, necking say a way. Okwasasa, Yaba, your interrogation, your Kwabasa, and they say, I was Samri. Now, MPP party, no, your catch and this buying. Said I down the catch on and railway and Ninkaso. That's also. Yet, say a mrapa na and this a bypass near camera and you will share your court. Sanity and then you go. Yes. The said almost want to hear the year, your court. The MPP, I bet say your lawyer for power. Oh, yes. I know what I say. Come out to me was 3 hours. What need you go ha? Or so coffee. I put in a home. Let me be as so piano. The Bama Maswati.
By a letter dated 17 February 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers transmitted to the special prosecutor a communication laced with vituperation and designed variously as a denigration of the OSP, a lecture on their suppositions as to the mandate of the OSP, a threat of legal action, a sort of homily as to how the OSP should conduct its affairs, an attack on the person of the special prosecutor, and a suggestion that the special prosecutor had embarked on a personal vendetta against Mr. Ofori-Atta without disclosing the alleged series of retaliatory, vengeful, or hostile acts the special prosecutor had directed at him, or alleged exchange of such acts between Mr. Ofori-Atta and the special prosecutor. Crucially, a 17 February 2025 letter from Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers failed to indicate a reasonable date of Mr. Ofori-Atta's return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP. On this reckoning, the OSP, by a letter dated 17 February 2025, reaffirmed and restated to Mr. Ofori-Atta that he remained a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. The OSP further stated that this tag will so remain until he indicated a reasonable time of his return to the jurisdiction, with the necessary and reasonable assurances of abiding by his indicated reasonable time, or until such time that the OSP enforces return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP, whichever came first. By a letter dated 18 February 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers communicated to the OSP that he was scheduled for a possible surgical intervention in the United States on 20 and 21 March 2025, and further that taking the date of the possible surgical intervention into account, he would require a recovery period of 6 to 8 weeks. On this basis, his lawyer stated that he should be able to return to the jurisdiction between 14 and 30 May 2025. On the same day, by a letter dated 18 February 2025, the OSP graciously acceded to Mr. Ofori-Atta's request to return voluntarily to the jurisdiction between 14 and 30 May 2025, as the office deemed the indicated recovery period reasonable in the circumstances. Consequently, the OSP removed Mr. Ofori-Atta's name from the list of wanted persons pending his voluntary return to the jurisdiction based on his own indicated dates. Consequently, the OSP directed Mr. Ofori-Atta to attend the OSP in person on Monday, 2 June 2025 at 13:30 GMT for interviewing, which is today. The OSP emphasized that if he failed to voluntarily return to the jurisdiction within his stated dates, and if he failed to attend the OSP on the rescheduled date of Monday, 2 June 2025 at 13:30 GMT, his name will be re-entered on the list of wanted persons, and the OSP will consider him a fugitive from justice, whereupon the office will take all necessary legal steps to secure his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP at our own choosing. Then, by a letter dated 28 May 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers informed the special prosecutor that a medical expert has diagnosed Mr. Ofori-Atta with cancer and has earmarked 13 June 2025 for surgery, for which reason he would be unable to return to the jurisdiction as scheduled. His lawyer stated that to the knowledge of the OSP, this change in circumstances has been brought to the attention of the court, before which Mr. Ofori-Atta is presently pursuing a human rights claim against the OSP and the special prosecutor. His lawyer stated further that in order not to hold the office back in the performance of his function, they had Mr. Ofori-Atta's instructions of his readiness to go through video recorded interview for the purpose of eliciting his caution statement. His lawyers offered to meet the special prosecutor in person or approach the bench for the purpose of viewing Mr. Ofori-Atta's biopsy report, whichever suited the special prosecutor. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the media, this is where we are now. Now let us step back a bit from the 28 May 2025 letter from Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers and place the matters in their proper context. I have intentionally went through a tedious timeline.
Oya Judge, the sisi we release Oya Chairman Wontumi na ehwe video na Chairman Wontumi ontum on nanto properly he can't work properly. Now yaja chairman Wontumi we no or committee and party members or Alisa Hotel na asama obiano ye bashwe na di abrowan na
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana here on Metro Television. Today is the 3rd of June, 2025. Thank you very much for tuning into the show. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we're glad. We're back again to join the nation's conversation on what's happening in Nigeria country, Ghana. We'll start straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning on their various front pages. And I'll start with the Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times this morning reports that a major milestone in Galamsey fight. Illegal miners flushed out of 8 forest reserves. President reveals. And does include kidney check in antenatal care policy. Professor Che. UK backs Morocco's Sahara autonomy plan as most credible solution. Abandon borrowed Western mode of fighting corruption. OSP. The Daily Guide, Ofori-Atta back on OSP wanted red list. Minority enters fake doctor saga. Wontumi freed, satisfies 50 million cedis bail. There's Sejinase youth protest illegal miners invasion of Etiwa forest. And there's 25 rescued from kidnappers. The New Republic. Released after 7 days of lawful incarceration, Wontumi's jail menu, no hunger strike, a feared NPP poison plot. As Ofori-Atta declared fugitive again, Ghana city leads African countries with 40% gain. Bahama fires warning shots, NDC to crack down on Galamsey with excavator import ban. GIS blows whistle on fake recruitment scam. Don't fall victim to protocol lies. Daily Post. OSP to file criminal charges in 280 million cedis corruption scandal at NPA. OSP places former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on the wanted list again. Chairman Wontumi released from Yoko's custody. Why do NPP leaders suddenly fall sick when arrested or invited for interrogation by the state investigative agencies? Economy Times. Ghana accelerating back to debt sustainability as cedi strengthens. Energy report pushes for great upgrades, efficiency reform as Minister directs ECG to deploy 200 transformers. 24-hour economy, Mahama lays blueprint as venture capital and Volta Lake to play pivotal roles. The Insight. Litigation will send you to your grave as Seydou Nketia mocks ex-Auditor General over 15 million cedis defamation suit. Ex-Ghana Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta declared wanted again. Interpol red notice secured for his arrest and extradition. Immigration Service warns public against fraudulent online recruitment scheme. And there's Sahrawi Arab Republic rejects UK recognition of Morocco's sovereignty over Western Sahara. Towards the 80th anniversary of the historic 5th Pan-African Congress, over 60 leaders vow to confront neo-colonialism, imperialism, and the disunity across the country. The Business and Financial Times. The Business and Financial Times. Government offers to expand existing bonds in a bid to satisfy creditors seeking more liquid investment. Re-entry to capital markets hinges on consistent coupon payments, SEC board chair. MasterCard partners allocate $87 million to agric SMEs. First Bank supports SOS with 50,000 cedis donation, and that's a very interesting feature. CD appreciation, strategic windfall for energy sector recovery, and ECG's insolvency. Right, so these are the front pages of the various newspapers as we have received them on the show today. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Judicial, we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
Guys, here, Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasan.
Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you so feeling ye. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Wabedum time aso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozing. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Ready? Hey, baby wom. Ah, Aji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share nanda danya was mosquito call esudu womunumu. Na say spray with them musa. Try sima edronum ansana ko dynamo.
And kratoi FDA ajatum.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enkoye kwao. Ama maye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basima kra. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Ah, you num boom and want some na more kana. A bois and ma any memina. Ne ma ba ye obesima. Na bema so ye bemasima. Ya, we be bois wuku. I'm a ne giant sow the shelly bottom. No when you yan and into sessing you or you chop one. GC mixture and a capsule. Achisa.
A painful about one more menu for one and Quada when if you do me a can be a draw. Achisa.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits. Happy smile.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city, with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Pangfukro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakpleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ningo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Food insecurity in West Africa isn't just a statistic. It's a crisis affecting millions, not because of a lack of land or talent, but because our food systems are struggling under the weight of conflict, climate change, and limited investment. On June 3rd, I had the honor of moderating the President's Roundtable 2025, hosted by the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID, under the theme Unlocking Food Security in West Africa Through Agricultural Transformation. We'll convene leaders, experts, and change makers for a strategic conversation, one that moves far beyond talk into action. From innovative financing to climate-smart agriculture, we'll spotlight real solutions and real commitments live on Metro TV. Now it's a defining moment for our region, so do join the conversation as well, live on DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms. Let's move together from insecurity to food sovereignty. My name is Anita Erskine. It would be an honor to have you join us.
All right, you are live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today, as I indicated, is 3rd of June. We're back again. And the conversation in this country would never go away. There are always issues to talk about. There's always issues to deal with. And also remember that this show is live on 94.1 FM on your radio dial. So again, those of you who would want to monitor the show, even though you want to be out of your homes, you can still do that on your radio sets whilst you're on your way to the office or wherever you are headed. So it's 94.1. It doesn't have a name for now. It's just a radio station which is crystal clear so that you can monitor the show. Let me say a big thanks to Polytank, Papano, and Casa. Polytank is the product to buy if you're looking for durable tanks to store your water. Now, this is Ghana, and you can only get deceived if you're not sure of what you're buying or you don't really know the market when it comes to water storage tanks. The name we all know is Polytank. It has been with us for over 30 years and has been trusted by all these generations, so make no mistake, always buy or choose Polytank for guaranteed quality. It's available at the same price across the country at Polytank partner shops, be it Rambo, Sumo, Hippo, Super Sumo. Durability is always assured. Polytank, the original, always the best. Papano and Casa. Now, notes, very important. The Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. That's extremely important. Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. So joining us this morning for, as usual, what promises to be a very, very interesting and a very productive conversation that should give us a productive morning and a productive day is a man who hasn't been here for a while, but not too long. And I'm talking about, he's a medical doctor, but he's also a politician. And Dr. Thomas Winsoma Anaba, who is the MP for Garu and also a member of the Health Committee of Parliament. Doc, good morning.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well, sir.
Good morning to you.
And how's the family? How's the constituency? You know,
family is
fine.
Watching. Family is fine. Constituency Garu is fine. You know, there are always few challenges with MPs.
The challenges will never
everybody has a demand. So you have
to
try to meet everybody. Just have to stay calm and then at least approach the challenges one by one. That is why we took the position. So constituency is okay. Right. Yes.
All right. And how's the hospital too?
Hospital is also doing very well. They are doing a serious job. They're trying to expand it, and then at least it shows that even with my absence, the work there would continue despite my absence. Measures has been put in place, and that is how it has been working. I don't have autonomy over it as if it is mine. It's just a system that is working.
So on daily basis, you would call to find out, or you would only follow up on how the hospital is doing during, say, an annual general meeting, or how do you?
I can track the hospital live.
Oh. Wonderful.
With respect to privacy, in terms of their managerial activities, in terms of spatial and viewing the hospital, how people are comfortable or not, and then the rest in the open areas, I can track all that and draw attention. I have an open access to patients. My number and the complaint center number is bold. Anybody can call to lay a complaint. Just last night before I slept, I had to answer a complaint. It was a good complaint, a suggestion as well. So I try to make sure I keep track of it because it's an investment.
But what's your management, or let's say ownership philosophy? You know, there are different kinds of people. Let's say ownership and ownership style.
Yeah.
Some owners don't want to interface with either consumers or customers of the services that they are rendering.
Yeah.
And they have their own reasons.
Right.
But there are some owners who would say, even though I do not do the day-to-day administration or management or running of my company, my lines are open 24/7.
Yeah.
So if you have any either contribution, you have any feedback, you know, in terms of customer service and so on and so forth, you're free to call me, you know. So I'm very available. In fact, in some cases, some people don't even know the people who own the company. Business.
Right.
Where is your philosophy?
In terms of my company, it was built around myself. You know, doctor, you start a small clinic. You start making friends. You start treating people. They start recommending people to you. So you have that relationship with your clients and your patients. And as you are growing and become a big company, some of them still want to have direct contact with you. though the customer service officer is there to attend to them, some of them have my personal number. And you know, I've been a little bit vocal in radio, TV, and other things. So people have my numbers. Eventually, everybody has my number, and they want support from me. So though I'm not there, they still want to approach me to give out recommendations. Oh, you are not there. This is going well, but this side do this. This is not. I take it in good faith, and I try to work it out. There is no institution or company that hasn't got problems. That's why you have to establish the public relations side, customer care department to attend to their needs and also open up for recommendations to improve it.
Would you have wished that the clients, customers, however you want to call them, do not have to reach you personally and directly to speak to you about anything about the business, and rather leave that to management, strictly speaking, to deal with?
I would have wished, but the way I've already established some rapport with some of them, I can't refuse it. They have the access to the hospital portal and the suggestion boxes to say whatever they want there. But because some of them already have my number, and we become so close friends, and the rest, everything is Dr. Nava.
And you know, in some cases, some of the persons who are managing these facilities, in some cases, not in all cases, but I mean, you've managed a very reputable. Of course, it's a public institution. In your case, I'm talking about a Greater Accra Regional Hospital. In some cases, some managers don't feel comfortable when customers go beyond them, speak to superiors above them.
Right.
And especially when they feel that, look, my management style is such that I'm so approachable. If there's anything, speak to me about it, rather than speaking to the owner or my superior at the top.
Right.
You know, so I'm just saying that your case is understandable because the hospital is you are the hospital.
Yes.
You have decided to, of course, to hand it over for competent people to run it.
Yes.
But of course, you've built certain relationship over a period of time.
Yeah.
And you can't just break away from that relationship simply because somebody's in charge, you know. So it's perfectly understandable. But I don't know whether the threat which has been issued by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association could have any impact on a business such as yours. In fact, from today, they've been ready. They were supposed to be wearing red armbands since yesterday and today. And they say from tomorrow they're going to even take out. They're going to stop seeing outpatients. You know, they're going to shut down the outpatient department, the OPDs.
Right.
Is that even before you tell me what you know about this intended strike or impending strike, if it happens? Would that affect your business too?
No. My business is private, and my conditions of service with the staff exists independent of what government does, because they don't draw from government.
That's right.
They draw everything from my company.
Just purely for public service.
Public service, yes.
Before you go ahead to tell me more about what you know about the strike, let me say that Kamal Dean is here. So Kamal Dean Abdullah is a former consul general with Ghana's embassy in Saudi Arabia, and he's also a deputy MPP communications director. He's here. Kamal Dean. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Walaikum my good brother.
Always good to see you. Good morning.
Very good morning to you, and good morning to Dr. Naba.
Embassy in Saudi Arabia, is it a high commission or it's an embassy?
What it is that we have most countries have two missions.
Okay.
One in Riyadh, one in Jeddah.
Okay.
Now the one in Jeddah is referred to as a consulate.
Okay.
And the one in Riyadh is referred to as the embassy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the president has the duty to appoint a consul general for Jeddah, and also appoint an ambassador for Riyadh.
Oh.
So jurisdictionally, in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh has its jurisdiction. Jeddah at the consulate also has its jurisdiction. So Tabuk, Medina, Makkah, Dammam, and all those areas are within the consulate. Then Riyadh also has a jurisdiction around. Essentially, you are representing Ghana, and essentially you are to work for the citizens of Ghana there, and also foster a relationship between you and the host nation, as it were. Basically, that's what it is. So, unlike other countries where they have decoupled the consulate from the embassy, Ghana, for instance, worked in tandem with the embassy. The consulate of Ghana in Jeddah works in tandem with the embassy in Riyadh. So, but strictly speaking, it's supposed to be decoupled.
Okay.
Like we have in Abu Dhabi, in in Dubai. Okay, the embassy itself is in Abu Dhabi, and then the consulate is in Dubai.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
get it.
So that's how it is. So we have about 66 missions throughout the world. Out of the 66, the Foreign Ministry of Ghana has 10 consulates.
Okay.
Okay. And then 56, if you like, embassies. That's how embassies or maybe high commissions.
High commissions. I see. Because in America, for instance, our consulate is in New York.
In New York.
And the embassy is in Washington.
Yes. So out of that, we have in Lagos, we have a consulate when we have the embassy in Abuja. In this, so the other areas we have that. But they are basically, I would say, it's a mission properly so called.
Okay. But is this something that's all countries are expected to do, which is to have a consulate and an embassy?
It depends on the dynamics of the host nation.
Okay.
Like I just gave the example of Saudi Arabia. And then also, you see, the vast nature of the country may demand that you have a consulate here, you have an embassy here. It depends on it. So Nigeria, for instance, look at the kind of work you have in Lagos and the kind of work you're going to have in Abuja. Okay, so I don't know of the demarcations and how the jurisdiction is. But of course, Ghana, let me be quick to add that usually we see that as one mission. That is our arrangement in Ghana administratively. But when you go there, they see it as two missions. One here, one there.
One there.
Okay,
say for a place like, say, Togo. You don't need a consulate.
No, Togo might not. We have only the embassy.
So it depends
on the size. A place like Benin, we have just an embassy.
Okay,
that's how it is.
So first of all, the size of the country and even the predominance of Ghanaians.
Absolutely.
But I think that the embassies are supposed to be there to establish diplomatic relationships with the host country, while the consulate is there to serve Ghanaians who are in that country and business people in that country who want to.
No, necessarily no. It's not just that.
Yes.
See, when you go to Riyadh, for instance, they have a consulate within the embassy. You have a consul division, where we have a consular. Okay, not a consul general. You have a consular. You see, the work of the consulate is to see to the welfare of citizens of Ghana living there. Yes, that is it. The embassy, the ambassadors supersedes everybody. They are all under there. But you see, when you come home, we have the research department. They normally go as consular divisions, just to ensure that maybe some research is done, ensure that some welfare of the citizens are taken care of. Somebody can travel to Saudi Arabia, and then his passport is lost. His documentation is gone. But he's a Ghanaian, so he has to come to the embassy or the consulate to say that, look, I'm a Ghanaian, this is what has happened to me. You ought to investigate, establish that, and give a travel certificate for the person to be able to travel back to the country, as it were. So these are kind of the works you have to do as it.
Oh, I see.
Making us do diplomacy small.
Right. So do we have countries that we have consulate, then we don't have embassies?
Oh, yes.
That is where
initially, I know, I stand to be corrected, but initially we had so in Dubai.
Yes.
We didn't have kind of an embassy and a consulate.
Yeah, right.
We had only a consulate because it was within the Gulf region. And then it will be overseen or supervised by an embassy closer. Yes, you get what I mean. So, for example, if you take Saudi Arabia, Jordan and Bahrain are all part of the mission in Riyadh. But so we may decide that, okay, let's have a consulate in Bahrain to be reporting to the embassy in Riyadh, as it were.
Okay.
So that is it. It means that the consulate works under the ambassador.
Yes.
But deals specifically with the interests of Ghanaians within the business
people.
Strictly
speaking.
But the embassies, they are there, the ambassadors are there to supervise the consulate and also play international relationship and diplomatic relationship with the host countries. I think that is how it is.
I see. That's quite interesting. Quite interesting. So from what you've just said, the embassy is a must. The consulate. No, I'm not talking about the consulate.
Let me just say, mission. Not. We don't have it in all countries. As I said, in Ghana, we have about 66. Now I don't know if the number has increased. But we have about 66 missions throughout the world. Okay, and of course, how many countries are in the world? So many. We are talking about over 180 to 190 or something. I stand to be corrected. But I'm saying that not necessarily you have. It depends on your relationship and how you are going to create it. not too long ago, Ghana created a mission in Kuwait.
Right.
Got an embassy in Kuwait.
Right.
We didn't have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not all countries.
I get
as
it.
were.
I get it. I get it. That's interesting.
Some embassies
Anyway.
oversee other countries. Within some countries,
Yes.
I know
Like I
Cuba,
said,
the embassy in Cuba was overseeing all the Caribbean countries, even including some Latin American countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can decide to have one embassy located for a zone, a group of countries, but you can have a consulate dotted.
Sometimes
in
it's
some
the
of those
cost.
places. It's
The
the
cost
cost.
of
You
running
may,
it.
it's imperative, but it's a cost.
Remember Oslo.
So if
We
you
try to buy just
be
a
cost
house.
effective, you may have to put some countries that are closer under one mission.
Yeah. Even in Europe, it happens.
Yeah, even in
Yeah,
Europe.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, there are embassies that are serving different countries, but they're here. Different. I mean, within the West African sub-region, but they're here.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we also need to go to those countries, you may have to travel to say
Absolutely.
Nigeria or Ivory Coast or somewhere to go and get a visa from there. So it's everywhere. Anyway, Doc, as a member of the Health Committee of Parliament, what do you know about this? What appears to be an impending strike by Nurses and Midwives Association. As I did indicate at the beginning of the program, some of them are wearing red armbands.
Yes.
This morning, if I started yesterday, what do you know about this development? And judging from the kind of relationship you have with the health minister, how are we averting this? I mean, because it's a looming health crisis if it happens.
Yeah, thank you very much. Personally, I'm somebody who really do not subscribe to strikes in the health sector because that is something my personal philosophy. So but I don't begrudge anybody who wants to go on strike. I only appeal to their conscience to see what they can do to avert subjecting the whole public to a dangerous situation like having to withdraw their services. What I know about the impending strike is that the previous government had an understanding, a memorandum of understanding with the various groupings of the nursing groupings and came out with a document detailing their service conditions as far back as May last year. Agreement was done, it was left with them to implement. Unfortunately, in the media budget of 2024, there was nothing allocated for it.
Because they said there was some kind of a legal challenge to that document.
Right, that's what we are hearing, right? So December, November, when they were doing the budget for the 3 months transition budget, also nothing there to implement the policy document. Then come this government, NDC government. They have approached the minister and the ministry for implementation. I think there are about 4 different groups, category of nursing groupings within that organized group. Then the minister has asked that the latest I've heard is that they want to try to see how they can implement it. So they needed to form a group to see how they can work to implement the conditions of service.
Is it some kind of a committee?
Yeah, it's a committee made up of somebody from the ministry, one person from the nursing group, and one person from the Ministry of Finance. Implementation
How
of...
about Fair Wages and Salaries Commission?
Definitely, they would have to meet with them. Okay. You know, the policy has already, the condition of service has already been established. Yeah. It's now left with how to implement it. And implementation requires funding.
Right.
Because there are small things that are very important for the workers. We will not deny that. Every little benefit you get as a working condition at least improve your income. It helps you to live happily. It helps you even to work very well because it will improve even their working conditions and then the rest. So what I know is that the government has so far asked a 3-man committee to be set to see how they can roll it out.
Yeah.
If at least the previous government, forgive me, my dear nurses, this is just a passionate appeal. If the previous government signed this agreement with you and throughout the 7 months in government and the 3 months budget that they did to transition, they couldn't factor you in. Know that the new government coming will definitely have to scrutinize things very well. We saw it happen in every government. We've seen it happen in every government. When the previous government came, PDS and all contracts were halted and investigated. You've signed conditions of service, just like Kufuor signed single spine salary. You remember, he signed it a day he was leaving, the day before he left, and left the burden onto the next government. It became a very big burden on Atta Mills and John Mahama. You have signed conditions of service for nurses, which is very good, but you failed to implement it. You failed to even provide resources for it in your mid-year budget 2024, and you're handing over your 3 months transition budget. You didn't do anything. A new government has come. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and allow them to mobilize resources, allow them to roll out how they are going to plan it. After the mid-year budget of this year, you are not seeing anything. Perhaps then you can see that the government really hasn't got the intention to roll it out. If he hasn't got the intention to roll it out, he wouldn't call you to the ministry for a meeting. Then 3 of the groupings said that the decision, the information received by the ministry is comforting enough for them to hold on the strike. But one group amongst them just said that they wouldn't agree, they will go on strike. So there is even a division within the nation groupings in Ghana, that 3 of the groups are saying that, look, let's give government the benefit of the doubt. So the other group is saying, no, we would start, which is not, at least, I believe 3 people cannot be right, 3 people cannot be wrong, and 1 group is right. I am thinking that perhaps they have some compassion for the patients, not that they are pampering government. I believe that those who have made it categorically clear that they won't join the strike, I think that it is out of compassion they are doing it. Because as a doctor myself, I need good working conditions. And I know nurses also need their working conditions to be met. But let's give the government the time, because he has the will to implement the conditions of service that was signed last year, May. So I beg the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association and their leader, my very good friend, Perpetua, to temper justice with mercy. That's what I always do for all strikes. Governments would find resources. You see, Jamal, a lot has been dissipated. And we know a lot has been dissipated. We'll recover them. See, some of them will go there. We'll recover them. And when we recover, we'll redirect them. But I also urge on the ministry to expedite whatever action they have, the finance ministry, to ensure that our nurses do not go on a complete strike. The ministry has given some directives, a communique out, asking various hospitals and departments and agencies under them to see how they can work to mitigate the strike in case it fails to satisfy the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association. That is a group that is currently refusing to bow down and accept to work and allow the process of implementation or the roll-out plan to come out. So I hope that all the hospitals and directors within the various hospitals would work with those who have agreed to work. They shouldn't be intimidated by those who don't want to work, because after going on strike, some people have their personal belief. Some people come to hospital and say, I won't take blood. You can't force to give them blood. Somebody says, I won't go on strike. You can't force him that he must come on strike, and then the rest. It's not everything that money solves. Sometimes you show some amount of compassion, and it pays bigly. It pays big. So I'm not here begging. I'm here persuading. Usually that's what I do. Even when MPP was in government, I never supported medical personnel going on strike. Okay. It's just like you are hanging the deaf, you are executing the deaf. It means that you are saying go and die. Can you imagine if doctors had withdrawn during the COVID time that we are going on strike? Can you imagine what would have happened? Or nurses? It wouldn't be good. So that is why I am persuading. I'm not belittling anybody. So that is my understanding of the whole issue.
Doc, how difficult would it have been for the minister, the sector minister, who has just taken over, not just but who took over the reins of that particular ministry? And I'm talking about Akando.
Yeah.
To have, as part of, I mean, obviously he was given a handover note.
Yes.
And I'm sure that included in that handing over notes is this collective agreement which have been signed by this group and the government. And remember that the nurses, as far as they are concerned, did not sign an agreement with a political party. As far as they're concerned, it's the government of Ghana.
Right.
Okay. Now, you take over your handing over notes. You realize that some group of health workers have a certain MOU, what they call a collective agreement, with the government of Ghana. And this is what is contained in it. And I'm sure that even in the MOU, there's a roadmap in terms of how it ought to be implemented. It is true that some persons went to court over the entire process because they felt that something was amiss. That's fine. In January this year, the court ruled on the matter, gave a judgment, and so that's been cleared. It's out of the way. Don't you think that on hindsight, which people say is 2020, the minister could have just engaged the leadership of this nurses and said, look, this is what I have inherited. But please give me 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. I'm looking into the documents legitimately, so as you did say. I'm looking into the content of this document, and you would hear from me by a certain scheduled period. Don't you think that would have averted? Because you see, they feel nobody is listening to them, nobody cares, nobody has said anything to them. In fact, some of them have even said they've been wanting to meet the health minister, and they have been frustrated. Look, I will not have a problem with anybody who says it's political, but this is Ghana. You know, so don't you think that could have averted?
It could have averted, but let me assure you that I have information that the groups have met the minister 5 times.
Really?
It's not that they have not met the minister.
Oh, I see.
They met him 5 times, and the last meeting they had, they agreed on the 3-man committee to roll out the implementation. It's not that the minister hasn't met them. To be honest with you, conditions of service comes with a budget. So, and you know, since the minister have come, since this new government came in, there have been several issues they are investigating, how to find the resources. We know how the economy went. The single spine salary structure, if you remember, at Tamils came, it had to take time for him to be able to implement because you need to mobilize the resources. The government is not saying that he wouldn't honor it. Let's just form the 3-man committee and see how we can roll it out. That was the last meeting they had. So if you have this, that is why the other 3 groups said that once the government is now ready to see how we can roll it out, let's put on hold the demonstration or the strike.
It's actually 4 groups.
Yes, the 4 groups, but one has refused. So I think that we don't want to read other meanings into it. But look, I'm a manager of an institution. And to roll out conditions of service, I must sit with the staff and let them know the pace of the company. If I'll roll it out and the company will collapse, we'll all go home. If I have to roll it, if I have to do it gradual for all of us to be able to benefit from the company and live with it, yes, we have to do it gradual to make sure we don't collapse the company. We all know the status of the economy of the country. I sympathize with them. I'm not in disagreement that they shouldn't, but let's use the roadmap let the 3-man committee go and sit down. Let's get the roadmap to see how they are going to implement it. They can decide that, okay, we'll implement this one first. Next 3 months, we'll add this condition. Following month, we'll add this condition. The following month, or the next year, we'll roll on this one. And gradually, we'll be implementing the policy. So let's get the roadmap established. Then we can move from there.
Will you want to have a take on this?
There's a pastor known as Doug Howard Mills. I don't know whether you've heard of him.
Is it Lighthouse Chapel?
Lighthouse Chapel,
Yes, Lighthouse Chapel.
Very respected gentleman who once said that if you say you will build 200 schools, do it. If you say you will make conditions of services or conditions of workers in this country better, do it. You are held to your promise. That's what I'm coming from that angle. You see, it's not about political party like you rightly said. It's not about NDC, MPP. Our health is at stake. Again, the conditions or better conditions of service of workers in that regard, is also at stake. In this case, nurses and midwives. We have over 128,000 of them in this country. And in fact, trust me, they form the backbone of the health institution. He's a doctor, he knows. Very important entity. We don't joke with it. Now, merely saying that outgone government had agreement with you, I'm taking it from doctor's comments here, okay? And a new government has come. What you ought to do is to be patient for them to look into things and find out what is it. Look, governance is a continuum. Very important. Why? The cedi that is appreciating today against the dollar. The new government is not saying we carried it from the old government. It says this is our prudence that has ensured that. That's Dr. Nko. They have forgotten that they carried it from an old government where they needed to pay credence to the extent that even the President of the Republic of Ghana acknowledged it. That look, the outgone government shored up our reserve. That is why the city is performing better today. Some credit, and I like that sincerity. Okay, today when it comes to workers or nurses, again, if the government has signed with you, which is gone, this government needs to be patient and find a budget. If you say you will build 200 schools, do it. If you say you will make the Ghanaian worker better, the Ghanaian worker be happy, you have said it, we didn't say it. Do it. You have no excuse. So, for you see, the sad aspect of what is happening today for me is the politics that we have gone into it with. And it's not about nurses and midwives. So, mostly, just observe it. If unions come out to develop a commonality or an agreed stance by all, some elements within will go back. Okay? Sit somewhere and have their meeting somewhere in cahoot to some other people, come out to say that, look, we are not part of your strike. To destroy the entire system. Meanwhile, you have a single area where all of you are going to benefit. This 128,000 people, if the conditions of service are actually implemented, all of you will benefit. But some of us, or some of them will come and say, because of politics, okay, NDC is in power. For this doctor, he's NDC. For this nurse, is not NDC. This nurse is... We have that. But I'm saying, look, whether it happened yesterday or it's happening today, it is actually not too good for our unions in this country, especially when we have critical and essential staff of this nature, like nurses and midwives. So my appeal to the health ministry, okay, and I'm happy Doc is on the health committee, right? We're having the right person we should be talking to. Well, basically, you legislate, and you would have to, they have to follow. So I'm saying, my appeal to your committee, my appeal to the health ministry, and my appeal to the President of the Republic of Ghana is to take into account the considerations raised by the concerns raised by these nurses. You have no excuse. We have money to do other things. We don't have money to take care of them. They are watching. Since when did we politicians come to power? What are the vehicles we are riding? How leisure, how beautiful and handsome are we looking on sets? What is our lifestyle? And these are people who will go and burn the midnight candle to take care of a patient in a ward with mosquitoes all over, bad conditions. I have been to some of our hospitals. Just 3-4 days ago, I was in TTH to visit my auntie who is not too well. The conditions I saw there are so appalling. Tamale Teaching Hospital. Then I asked myself, so this edifice is put there and no management properly? Even water was lacking. And nurses are supposed to work under such conditions and yet go home with peanuts or pittance. And yet we sit here and all we can do is that the ex-government, the former government signed condition with you, didn't implement it. Now the new one has come. Be patient for that. It's not politics. No. The nurses are demanding for their pound of flesh. Take care of them, doctor.
We'll take care of them.
I'm happy you either that you support what they are doing. And I like that magnanimity and I mean the way you have appeared. That's a good one. But of course, don't appeal to the government. Tell the government they can do. They have the money. Tell them. You are the committee. Tell them.
All right.
So if you say you will give us better conditions of service, do it.
Okay.
If you say you will build 100 schools, do it.
All right.
If you say you will put a gold board and share dollars, do it. These are the things you have to know. So nurses, for me, I am saying that stand your grounds.
Okay.
Be strong and fight for that.
Okay.
So, my brother, you are going somewhere we don't want to go.
I didn't go anywhere.
So you see, if you say you do this, do it. My village, my agenda 111 is still at foundation. Have you done it?
No, we did some.
Have you done it?
We did some.
Oh,
and if
so you see, I'm saying that we are not refusing. And you are talking of Tamale Teaching Hospital having serious problems.
Yes.
You handled Tamale Teaching Hospital for 8 years.
Yes.
It's having serious, and we're correcting it.
That is why it should be corrected.
And we're correcting it.
So Ghanaians thought that you have come to tell them you will correct it. You have voted for it.
But we have not refused that we won't pay, we won't honor the obligation of the conditions of service. We're saying that let's get a roadmap to roll it out. No one has refused, and I've sympathized with them because I'm from that fraternity.
All right.
So my brother, Excellency,
come on.
I think you are bringing some fever from Saudi.
There's a principle that Kamal has been espousing, and I can tell from all indications that he believes so much in it very passionately, which is one must walk their talk.
Absolutely.
You know, you must mean what you say and say what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one entity in this country which, or institution in this country which appears to be doing just that.
Yes.
I said it before that it would embark on a global manhunt of a former public servant of this country if certain things are not done right. He said it about some 3 months ago. And it appears that it has walked that talk. Okay. So there was a presser yesterday by the special prosecutor, Mr. Kisi Ejabeng. Now, today's New Republic, David Tamaklu's New Republic, who's the managing editor of the paper, has reported it. And the paper is reporting that that's Gifty Boateng, who is the reporter who was at the event, and she's reporting that in a dramatic turn of events, the special prosecutor, Kisi Ejabeng, has effective Monday, which is yesterday, June 2, 2025, redeclared former Finance Minister Ofori-Atta, or Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta, a fugitive from justice, restating him on the wanted list. The SP, visibly incensed, obviously, vowed there would be no preferential treatment, sternly reminding all that even a former president had previously faced the office's scrutiny. What is so special about Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta that he thinks he can lie on his bed somewhere and say on his say so without any evidence that I am unwell, I can't show up? Ejabeng queried pointedly at a press conference yesterday at the office of the special prosecutor in Accra. Now, even a former president showed up when invited. Have you forgotten? He was served the same process and complied, much less a former finance minister. Interpol red notice issued. Now, in a decisive move, the SP announced that an Interpol red notice has been triggered for the location and provisional arrest of Mr. Ofori-Atta. This action initiates extradition processes to bring him back from any of the 190 countries with which Interpol has a treaty to assist in criminal investigations. About 30 minutes before this brief, I triggered processes for the issuance of an Interpol red notice for the location and provisional arrest of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta in whichever jurisdiction pending extradition or his surrender. The special prosecutor revealed a copy of the notice cited by the New Republic explicitly states that a former databank founder is wanted to answer charges in connection with several cases, including the Strategic Mobilization GRA contract, termination of ECG BX contract, National Cathedral payments, ambulance procurement contract, and tax refund accountability utilization. As sources close to the OSP suggest that Ofori-Atta may be hiding in countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom, South Africa, Hong Kong, and Guyana. Now, this latest declaration comes after the 66-year-old failed to appear before the OSP yesterday, June 2, violating an earlier agreement that he had led to his temporary removal from the wanted list. Kamal, do you know where Ken Ofori-Atta is? And do you know if he knows that he's been wanted?
Certainly not.
Okay.
I don't know where precisely he is, but I'm aware that, of course, as a revered former finance minister of this country, who's actually also contributed and paid his dues to us, I'm not suggesting that he is 100%, just like no one is 100% as humans. I'm not suggesting that he is culpable of any crime for now. because the laws are clear on it. You see, the respected Kisi Ejabe is somebody we all know in the circles of the academia, that he stands out when it comes to criminal law teachings and, you know, whatever. Even in his press conference yesterday, he was tempted to say how he loved lecturing. Or he
said he's been lecturing for 25 years.
Absolutely. So that tells you that indeed he has the grasp of the law. He has what it takes to call himself a great criminologist when it comes to that sector. But nonetheless, like I said, no human being is perfect. No human being is 100%. Even he, Kisi Ejabe, is not 100%. There are things he will do, somebody will question.
Yeah.
Doctor will do certain things, somebody will question. I will do certain things, they will question.
Right.
God, in his infinite wisdom, never created us to be 100%. Okay? Now, what is that? What are the issues? And what are the laws of Ghana? Fundamentally, I am not a lawyer. Okay? As a packet lawyer, I am sitting here. I do know that, clearly speaking, the Criminal Procedure Act in this country, okay, prescribes certain ways of initiating a criminal trial. Okay, if you have evidence as a body that has been given the mandate to prosecute. But look, to the extent that it even tells you that you can go to court, initiate the sermons, without recourse to the person and let the court write for the person to come and respond. It's one angle. To the extent that you can arrest, okay? And when you arrest, reasonably so, within 48 hours, you must produce the person or send the person to court on the charges that you are supposed to, whether summarily or indictment, whatever. These are all prescribed, which I know. That's why I started off by saying that Kisi Ejabe is somebody who is really respected in that area. And I'm aware, again, that in the absence of the person, you can still prosecute him. You can try that person in absentia.
How?
The laws are there, it's clear.
No.
Why?
The guy has not been arrested yet.
No. That is why I said
he's not been arrested.
If reasonably, you see, public law is crime against the state.
Yes.
That we all know.
Yes.
And I'm saying that wherever you are, and if there are evidence that to prove that Mr. A has committed these crimes, these are the evidence, contrary to these sections from Act 29, and based on Act 30, I am going to initiate a procedure, and it's clear, nothing stops you to prosecute the person or try the person in absentia. Nothing.
Well,
it's there. Even in his press conference, he mentioned it at the tail end. If you listen to him yesterday, he said, look, there are other options available to me. I can even try him in absentia. He mentioned it himself. You see, and I'm saying, you see, I'm making this point, you see, whether, and again, I want to say this, we are an evolving democracy.
Yeah.
We will make mistakes. NDC 1 made some mistakes. NDC 2 made some mistakes. I recall, you remember the quality grain scandal case?
Yes.
Good. NDC were beating their chests for going to inculcate into the law what we call Section 179. Because if you read the judge's, judgment, he took his time to tell the whole world who brought the law and how the law was brought and how it was challenged on radio and other places, but yet still the law was done. And now the axe is falling on the person who brought the law. And these were not so happy about it. But the law is the law. So the point I'm trying to make here is that NPP also sat down and thought and said, oh, special prosecutor, we need it. With recourse to Article 88 of the Constitution of Ghana, we all know that the Attorney General is supposed to be the chief prosecuting officer. But in the wisdom of the government of NPP then, oh, we need a special prosecutor who would uniquely work on corruption and corruption-related cases and whatever to offer, just be able to want to make corruption unattractive to whoever. Good intention. But again, the axe is falling on who now? The same NPP. Are you getting me? So I'm saying that we may get it wrong, but what is at the center of it is the law. And my appeal to Kisi Ejabe is that, with a great deal of respect to him, he's a very respected person in that area. But there are many who think that there's so much drama again. With a great deal of respect. There are many good things that, look, you can just go straight ahead and do the work. And ensure that the country is not shortchanged. Press conferences, look, I took my time and looked at the Crown prosecution, what's the name, in the UK. They call it what? Is it Crown prosecution or something?
Yes, in the UK.
I looked at the work, the kind of way they do. You know what they do? Sometimes when the police even arrest, they, based on their law and other prosecuting agencies arrest or maybe initiate an issue, they have the right to write for it to say, to be called for it. Look at it properly. Reason is that the human rights of the person is at stake.
Yeah.
So this matter, should we look at it properly and see whether it's prosecutable or it's not prosecutable? They do. And the same way in Ghana, we also have laws protecting the human rights of whoever is seen as a suspect.
Yeah.
And we don't joke with it. That is why even Article 19 clearly says that you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. These are all right, and we all know. But this talk of, I want to make you a fugitive, I want to make you a wanted person. Look, if you have evidence that something untoward has happened, and it's against Mr. A or Mr. B, and the country is shortchanged, and the law says try in absentia, you have the opportunity, you are in touch with the lawyers of the person even according to you has sent you some documents, even though you don't agree to it, to mean that that's a medical report. But has sent you some document. You even alluded in your press conference that the person has some cancer. You alluded again that he's supposed to go through surgery. These are all supposed to be subjected to scrutiny. But you see, let's save Ghana this.
The allusion was as per what they had been told.
I know.
They disagree. They say they want further and better particulars to actually prove that indeed he has a medical condition that would make it impossible for him to sit in a flight and come to Ghana.
Yeah.
So just so we set the record
straight.
He
wanted to see it explicit that when he's not as a flight risk person. That's what he said. I had listened to it yesterday. No. He said that all the documents provided, that's written to him or whatever, doesn't say that the person has cannot board a flight to Ghana.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That's what he mentioned.
Said, yes.
And I am saying that notwithstanding, you are in touch with the lawyers of the person.
Yeah.
In fact, to a large extent, even you say that the lawyers have triggered a certain law, which says that you could do some video conferencing. Okay? Yes. To a large extent. But you said you want the person himself here. Yes, it's true.
If you've listened to the head
I am saying, if it is on health grounds, the law allows for such consideration. On health grounds, why? You and I sitting here cannot tell whether or not it's true or it's not true. And you, the special prosecutor, just seeing this alone and knowing that you have been, look, he has had emissaries sending these things to you. Those emissaries are reachable. In this case, his lawyers. You can go invite them further and work. Look, the press conference, with the greatest of respect to me, I mean, if you have you are close with the powers to work, you are close with the powers to prosecute, we are close with the powers to have the evidence and move ahead. The press conferences are not necessary. They're not necessary to me.
If you've listened to...
Go ahead and work.
If you've listened to Sami Dakun,
yes,
who is the Director of Strategy Research and I believe Monitoring also.
Yeah, Sami.
He has said it time without number. And the main reason why they want Ofori-Atta to be personally and physically available to be questioned is because they want to arrest him and take his what they call a caution statement.
Do you know if
right?
Look, do you know what the law do?
No, hold on. Let me just tell you what he said.
Okay.
And here I'm not expressing my personal opinion about approach or modus operandi. I'm just telling you what the facts are out there. You can easily read it. It says we want the man to be physically available.
And we'll take his caution
so that we can arrest him, take a caution statement, so that based on that, we can build what we call an ironclad case. A document, and then proceed to court and prosecute the matters at that particular forum, whichever forum they choose to go to.
So the person
But
comes.
until and unless Ofori-Atta is physically available or physically present.
That cannot be done.
they would, I don't know about, they cannot be done, but I've heard about there'll be a difficulty.
You see, what it is that
that's what I've been pursuing
my
all
fundamental knowledge of the processes of criminal procedure is that even when you are arrested, you have the right to remain silent.
Absolutely. Yeah, Miranda rights.
Even when I'm giving a caution statement. And say you are charged with blah 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 blah. Do you have anything to say? No comment. I can write and go away. That's all. And wait, and so this defeats what you are telling me.
No, but you see,
it does.
Yeah, but come on. Come on. The difference here. No, but the difference here is that you've been arrested. You've been charged.
Yes.
Your refusal to make any comment is a right which you are entitled to under the law.
Listen to my first comment.
And even international law.
I said, one, criminal procedure in this country allows for prosecutory bodies, to initiate a trial straight to court without even an arrest. That's one.
Okay.
Two, it also, that is if you have evidence. And two, it also allows for you to arrest and within 48 hours initiate the trial if the person is actually culpable.
Okay.
And you think so. Then three, the same process allows for you to try the person in absentia if you can. So these three things are there. And I'm saying the prosecutory body here, in this case OSP, is clothed with all these powers. Now, if you are clothed with all these powers and you have reason to believe that this is actually happening, look, don't shortchange Ghana, don't delay it, don't do press conferences. Put together your documents, let him be wherever he thinks he wants to be. The law will catch up with you no matter what.
Okay.
You understand? To save us this time of airtime of all of us going and sit down and listen to press conferences, save us of whatever. We don't know what it is.
Okay.
What most importantly, your work is to ensure that the right thing is done. That's why I'm saying, look, this is a respected man in terms of criminology. He's somebody who knows all these fundamentals that I have mentioned here. I don't really know what is stopping him from it.
Okay.
Go ahead and do your work.
Okay.
If the man you have reasons to believe, look, beyond reasonable doubt, go and prove it. Why? Where is the former director of, what's the name? Maslow.
Oh, you mean Sedinam?
Sedinam was not here. Was she not tried in absentia? Has she not been convicted in absentia?
I remember
she's supposed to come and serve 10 years.
But I remember she was arrested. She was charged.
But she on bail, she jumped bail, I'm told.
Yeah, but I'm saying that.
So, and I'm saying
case, she was arrested and charged.
No, of course, but nonetheless, you can still have that. So if Sedinam even tried in absentia, convicted in absentia, and supposed to come for 10 years of whatever, what stops us if you have the evidence to prove that I want to do it? Especially when you are in touch with the lawyers of the person.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. Look, so per his knowledge of criminal prosecution procedure, you don't necessarily have to arrest somebody, charge the person before going to court.
Right.
If you have sufficient evidence that the person has done something untoward, just go to court.
Right.
So, of course, you don't work with the special prosecutor. You're only commenting on this as an MP, a member of the health committee, and of course an NDC person. The special office or the special prosecutor is independent, but you express an opinion. Now, do you agree with Kamal that perhaps maybe the office of the special prosecutor is wasting our time? They should just go to court.
Thank you very much. I think Kamal is just helping me to even call on the special prosecutor to stop being so lenient with the former finance minister. Actually, these press conferences and the rest to me, they are just in a way to establish that we've done our best to get him, but he has just refused to come home.
So trigger the next
move.
move.
How will Ghanaians feel if the special prosecutor has just gotten up one day, taking a docket to court that I'm coming to prosecute Ken Ofori-Atta because he has committed this crime, and he has not done anything at all to get him to come to Ghana? But why is Ken always sick? Or most of the NPP functionaries who have alleged criminal issues hanging around their neck, always falling sick when it comes to the call for justice to be meted out, calling them to come to stand before the authorities to answer questions for their alleged involvement in certain criminal activities. What is really wrong with Ken Ofori-Atta? He said from the beginning that he doesn't know where he is. He came again to tell us that his lawyers communicate with him and they are linking up with the
from
special
what he
prosecutor.
said, not
So
me.
you should know where he is. He has lawyers who know where he is.
Can you imagine?
But I blame the special prosecutor for not locating where Ken Ofori-Atta is and telling us. This government and this country has intelligentsia that should be able to locate this man. A black man was able to track the president, even in air, when he was in opposition. Even when he was in the air, he would tell you at which latitude Akufo-Addo was. What prevents the special prosecutor to ensure that he knows where he is? Then if we are to really go for him, we ask for permission from the country he is, like he's saying, wanted, give the location, they go and bring him to Ghana. Health grounds. He was the finance minister. He wanted health to be nice in this country. He would have gotten the best treatment in Ghana as well as he's getting in the US. He abandoned Legon Medical Hospital, phase 2. That would have brought quaternary services to attend to most of the complex diseases in this country, but rather sank money in a cathedral illegally, unlawfully. We've seen the charges that they are holding him to, which every Ghanaian would really wish he can come and answer. If he exonerates himself, I don't have a problem. But for now, the accusations appear to be virtually conclusive that he's actually involved in criminality. He should come and answer. Look, to prosecute somebody in absentia means you have to do all what you want to get him and fail before you prosecute him. I don't think there is a need for us to prosecute him in absentia. If he thinks he has done nothing, the previous government in 2021 appointed him, nominated him to become a minister again when he was receiving treatment abroad. The same way, the special prosecutor should list him as a fugitive when he's receiving treatment abroad. Because when it was good for him, we were waiting for him. When it's bad for him, we'll wait for him. He must be sought and brought to Ghana to answer questions. He must understand that Ghanaians saw how the economy was going. Ghanaians saw how his company has benefited richly from Ghana. Ghanaians saw how contracts that were awarded in this country and money is paid to them for work not done without due process. Ghanaians have seen all those documentations. What fear is he entertaining? That they will arrest him? Definitely. If he has committed crime, even if he's sick, we have hospitals in Ghana that attend to sick people who are in prison. So if he comes to Ghana and he wants certain conditions, if he wants, we can provide it. I will ask the health minister, if we have to rent special doctors to come to Ghana and attend to him and we pay them for them to take care of him to answer these questions, let them have it to respect his human right. That one, I wouldn't argue about it. We will respect his human right to get health needs. If we have to bring his doctors here, let's bring them. Or let's do a conference call with his doctors abroad. We have a mission in US. They should go there. Let's do a conference call with them to really ascertain what is wrong with him that he cannot even just come to Ghana. How was he able to come to Ghana in 2021 to take his position from Chebe Sabosu? And he cannot come this time, at least 1 week, to defend himself of all these defamatory...
He has cancer.
Cancer.
He's going to undergo a surgical operation.
He said he would come in May. He said he told us he would come in May from his doctor's advice.
Does he control the sickness?
Does he control the sickness?
Does he control his sickness? You are a doctor.
If he knew that...
No, you are a doctor. You should know this.
No. I'm not disputing that.
So I'm surprised.
If he had known that he has cancer, he shouldn't give a definite date. He gave a date. Yes. Like you said, if you said something, do it.
There is something
you said it.
There's something we call force majeure.
Please,
you know that.
You see, these are the technicalities.
No, it's not technicalities. There's something we call force majeure.
These are the technicalities we politicians
You don't know.
use.
You may give time.
These are technicalities.
You don't control it.
You mean he didn't know that he would have cancer?
You never. No, with all respect. With all respect.
Come on, let me learn.
Okay, let him learn.
These are technicalities that we sometimes use, and the Ghanaian public think that politicians are abusing.
It's not technicalities.
Force majeure, force this. I'm sorry, he's sick. But his sickness, cancer does not prevent you from coming to Ghana just to answer questions and go back.
All right.
We can, even if he wants, special prosecutors should provide a flight, a chartered flight. They bring him, answer your question 2-3 days, get your bail, and go back.
Hey.
What is the problem? Let's not use sickness as an excuse. We saw how some people are pretending to have stroke after they've arrested them to Yoko. When they come out after the hotel, you go and follow him and he's walking normal. You see, this pretense must stop. The damage that this man has done to Ghanaians from these accusations alone, the damage that he has done to Ghanaians is far weightier than what he is begging for. It's far weightier. Look, they were paying communications officers in the Ministry of Information insurance allowances for risk for COVID-19 when doctors and nurses were dying of it and they were not getting money. This is the finance minister who was doing it. And now you are crying that you are sick. These are nurses who are crying they want conditions of service. And they've wasted all these monies. And you are here telling us that we shouldn't beg them, that they should calm down and allow the government to get money and pay them. These are some of the things he has created. If all these monies were properly used, look at the ECG issue. They were coming to stabilize the power sector, to make sure that there's no fluctuation, power is stable. You go and terminate this contract. Come and answer. Now we are having issues of transmission, issues of waste. The amount of power generated, I learned 40% is lost on the way. Who has caused it? He caused it. Because if this contract had gone on and the Chinese had stabilized our transmissions, would we have been having these losses? Prices of electricity would have come down for us to be able to use that money for something else. Come and answer it. This is harm he's doing to us. Medical gadgets are breaking down because of power fluctuations. That is why he can't stay in Ghana to treat his cancer. He should come to Ghana and answer. Or look, me, I don't want them to use that he's sick because I'm a doctor. We shouldn't say that, oh, human rights. Yes, human rights are there. But what he has done is worse than violating people's human rights. It's worse than that. Then Ofori-Atta has committed crimes and everybody knows. And it is palpably clear. I know by now they are running behind scenes, seeing diplomats, seeing big people to tell Mahama because of his soft heart to cool down. Please, His Excellency, we beg you, this man must be brought home to answer his questions.
I get this sense, before you come in, Kamal, I get the sense that the special prosecutor does not trust Ken. If you listen to Kisei Jabin's body language yesterday, I think it's quite clear that he doesn't trust Ken. He, for some reason, thinks that Ken is making up stories. Yeah. And for me, and that's why you see a certain insistence, he's insisting that he physically shows up. I don't know whether you get the same, the same impression.
You may decide to think about someone, how you feel about him.
Yeah.
I may decide to do so. Truth is that what actually is happening, you can seek to establish it and verify it. As simple as that. Listen to Doctor properly. Doctor says that even when it was positive for him and he was appointed as finance minister and sickness held him, okay, we had patience to wait for him and go through processes until he returned. Yeah. That tells you that clearly there is a precedent. Which precedent is a fact. Which fact was a truism. Point I want to make here is that if the person was appointed, I thought if he was the type who makes up stories of feigned sicknesses, okay, at that instance, the good move alone will not even let you feign sickness. But yet, we got the minister in charge of parliamentary affairs to stand in his stead. Chairman Sabunsu was actually vetted, read actually a budget on his behalf, okay, held forth for him until he returned. And you see, in this case, fundamentally, let's ask ourselves, is sickness a ground for legal processes or in legal processes? Answer is in the affirmative, yes. Has the man actually a history of sicknesses? The factor is yes, which doctor has alluded to, even in his positives. Why then do you think reasonably that somebody who indeed knows that you are a human being, it could be you? Not too long ago, our vice president. We all woke up to hear what we didn't like to hear. She was rushed out. Even though doctor says that we have all these fine hospitals here, they can be treated here. She went and enjoyed and cooled off for so many years, weeks.
The president had to visit.
We could have had them.
I'm saying,
but your government neglected
them.
No. Your government neglected them.
Why? Since we got the constitution
when we just came to power,
I'm saying,
we are going to
we build
let
me make my point. Since the constitution, the inception of the constitution in 1992, is it only MPP that has been in power till now? You even had the opportunity of ruling us for over 20-something years.
We did a lot.
And what have you done?
A lot. Tell me which
let's not go there. So the point is that even if the vice president, when she felt, hey, why wasn't University of Ghana Medical Center there? Why we had to send her out and bringing her home, contrary to your own stance that somebody was bathing in the air. You rented a luxurious jet. Well, I don't know whether she was showering or she was bathing. I don't know what she did in it. Until she landed. You did that. You see, all this we can go back and forth. And I've always maintained that, look, we are a growing democracy. If you listen to me, I've been consistent on this. I'm MPP, all right. You are NDC, all right. But it comes to a time we must stop this blame game. It comes to a time we must know that, look, put yourself in the shoes. When you listen to my earlier submission, I said, look, the right of every suspect is guaranteed. And the Constitution even says that be careful not to incarcerate an innocent person. So prove beyond reasonable doubt. Doctor is here. Anybody can lie. And biblically, we all know. Look at how Joseph went to prison for 7 years. Biblically. The Quran gives a story. The Bible gives a story. He was lied against. The man was thrown in jail, forgotten of, until God said dream, and then dream. Somebody dreamed, and he had to come out. Because God wanted to do it. It tells you that the wisdom of the framers of our laws is taken from all these angles. So don't sit down and vilify and chastise and criminalize somebody when you have not gone through the process to do that. Because you think you want to do politics, let's be serious. I am saying it could be Kamal, it could be Doctor tomorrow, and with a great respect, whoever it is, and it can be anybody, somebody in the village. You understand? You can lie against anybody. So the law says, prove beyond reasonable doubt. The law even says when you arrest the person, keep quiet. Don't say any word. Let the person prove. He said you have done it. Let him prove. The law says that. So this caution statement, we want him to come. Look, we have decided to adopt a certain posture as politicians. And again, I'm saying whether NDC or MPP. If we did it in our time, it was wrong. If NDC is doing that, it's wrong. Politicians are human beings. But many of us have forgotten that. We go after ourselves, forgetting that the civil service, the road that is there, my brother, the public service who are not even politicians, the road that is there, that kills Ghana. My brother, if we are able to solve it, this country will indeed be better. Politicians, they come and go in 4 years. So please, Ofori-Atta, it could be him today. I'm not saying and holding for him that he's right.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's actually, if you like, he's clean.
Okay.
I am saying that there are laid down procedures for us to follow to ensure that whatever has been shortened Ghana can be brought back and we'll move on. And we'll stop this petty politics.
All right,
it will not help us.
So we'll take a breather. But before we do, let me just say that fortunately for us, there's a lawyer, a very seasoned lawyer, except that he doesn't want me to mention it for personal reasons.
Okay.
We shared some what I call legal insights.
Very good.
To
it's a learning curve. You must learn.
Whether indeed the office of the special prosecutor could have just gone out, can actually go ahead and prosecute the matter in court without necessarily, physically arresting, Ken Ofori-Atta and charging him and asking him to take a caution statement, even if he decides he won't say anything.
Okay.
Said it's a very erudite, what I call statement that he sent, or a message that he sent to me. And so I'll read it. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you so much.
Next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friend, Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friend, me once now.
Hey,
you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action. Maybe this Sasso spray. My friend is Sasso Quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Sasso, come tom preko.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Choco Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Choco Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Choco Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Where to get polytank?
Oh, and you're up fine.
Go straight.
Oh, I want left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Who knows? Abe, na ye. Me pe polytank ato. Enu sin ta menu ba otu pe bia be na ba heju. Ofu pe bia ete entwa ye kura.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they took my eyes. Go to the distributor and you give the original polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
Food insecurity in West Africa isn't just a statistic. It's a crisis affecting millions, not because of a lack of land or talent, but because our food systems are struggling under the weight of conflict, climate change, and limited investment. On June 3rd, I had the honor of moderating the President's Roundtable 2025, hosted by the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID. Under the theme Unlocking Food Security in West Africa Through Agricultural Transformation, we'll convene leaders, experts, and change makers for a strategic conversation, one that moves far beyond talk into action. From innovative financing to climate-smart agriculture, we'll spotlight real solutions and real commitments live on Metro TV. Now it's a defining moment for our region, so do join the conversation as well, live on DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms. Let's move together from insecurity to food sovereignty. My name is Anita Erskine. It would be an honor to have you join us.
Scratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Missy Yamfan come and me burua.
Mami Boburo, Tony at the Bra, Mummy and Fanny called Dr. Ban. Dr. Ban, oh, yeah, Bra, Saban, no Pemu, Juma, Sasabro, Slow, Dr. Ban, or your
oh, no Pemu nim the on one expect Yazan for no. Or cry any Kumasi, no Pemu expect Yan can't show.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Join the president of EBID and other leading development experts live on June 3rd, 2025 from 11 a.m. GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms for the President's Roundtable on Unlocking Food Security in West Africa through Agricultural Transformation. Having financed over $113 million in agriculture and agribusiness projects and programs to build resilient food systems across the ECOWAS sub-region, EBID has prioritized tackling food insecurity in the sub-region in its Strategy 2025 with the aim of assisting member states to attain SDG 2 and SDG 3. Dr. George Ejekum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBID, will be joined by leading development experts to discuss and share their collective experiences and perspectives on addressing food security challenges in West Africa, as well as finding innovative ways to ensure food resilience in the region. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. EBID, transforming ECOWAS communities.
You're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 FM. Now, joining us this morning, or with us this morning, let me rather say, is Dr. Thomas Wontumi, another who is the MP for Garu and also the man who served Ghana somewhere in Saudi Arabia. And is the former Consul General of Ghana, Saudi Arabia. He's also a Deputy MPP Director of Communications. I'm talking about the man Kamaluddin, who is, both of them are with us this morning. Now, I told you before we went on that little breather that someone had actually sent a message, and the message had to do with setting the record straight on what the options are available to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And this person says that, he says, good morning. He said, good morning, guys. I've been following the discussion with rapt attention. It is a very interesting one, but I need to point this out, that ordinarily, the law is for the state to prepare its case and proceed to court. The opportunity given for the suspect or accused to give a statement is not cast in stone. And where the state has all the information it needs to build a formidable case, it can proceed to court and get a summons to be issued and served on the accused to appear, failing which the trial may commence without them. A suspect who opts to give a statement can simply state that he is innocent without more, and that will suffice, as the statement to the investigators So, this further buttresses the point that it is not obligatory for the suspect to by all means give a statement, specifically answering the findings made by the investigators. The law offers the suspect the right to remain silent, and that includes a right not to give a statement to the police or investigators. So, why this sudden fixation by the OSP to by all means obtain a statement from Kem? I honestly don't get it. Yeah, that's you feel vindicated.
I feel very much vindicated. No, but the law
you
is
sleep
predictable.
well.
The law is even predictable.
You sleep well today.
No, see, that's what we need to know.
Right.
Not knowing the law even itself is not good to yourself.
Sure.
You don't need to be a lawyer to know this.
Yeah, I see.
But this involves a public figure, a person of interest.
He's a human being.
First and foremost. But you must do things for the public to see you've done your best. That is it. Yes, so Kisi Abajabin is doing it. To me, he's even very slow.
My friends in the
would have done worse.
because they are on the other divide now. Oh, they say, I wish Chimbuafu was here. He would have gone bonkers.
I believe that we can't be that calm, just do things on the silence.
Oh, you just said Chimbuafu would have gone bonkers.
Exactly what you said. Yes.
Do things on the silence. No, we have to ensure that we have done the best to get him and we have not succeeded.
Anyway.
So Kisi Abajabin is doing his work. But I think that we can trace this man to wherever he is.
Bring him.
And then bring him. It's not difficult. America and the rest, they do it.
They'll
find a way of bringing you home.
That's
right. Yeah. His age can let him have some diseases. But you see, we are using these things. We are in a blame game. We are in a transition government. We are a young democracy. Look, the best thing we can do in Ghana is to make sure that those who are corrupt today are dealt with drastically to deter those who are attempting, who have the desire to go into it, not to step foot. To me, this thing that we are doing, people say, oh, if AP come, they will deal with us. I'm happy. We should have in mind that when they come, they'll deal with us.
Okay.
By dealing with those who committed it today, to ensure that those in power today don't also go there.
Okay.
So to me, if it is that MPP tomorrow, they will come to power and deal with us, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm very happy.
I disagree with you.
No. It's accountability.
I disagree with you.
No, don't disagree.
Deal with them. Don't deal with them with ill motives.
I'm not saying they should deal with somebody who is innocent, please. I'm talking of anybody we have charges against him that can stand the test of time, take him to court. If he's found guilty, deal with him.
Okay.
If MPP comes and want to hold NDC people, then the NDC person in government today would walk the right path. So that tomorrow you are not caught wanting.
All right, there's a retired civil servant who's watching us. He says that, good morning, Moro. Even when the court granted Afoko bail and he could meet the bail bond, he was refused bail. There are thousands of us walking around with prostate cancer. He can put on medication and attend to the special prosecutor. He's simply playing hide and seek with the OSP, and Ghanaians are watching what is happening with Eagle Eyes. Anyway, so I guess that we have to move on from Ofori-Atta. I think that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has done what he believes he ought to do. Yeah. Opinions would always be sharply divided as to whether he is doing his job or he's engaged in some kind of whatever that some people want to call it. So we'll leave him. It's an independent institution. We can critique it, which is fine. And that's what we've just done now. We've done a critique of his job. And so we'll see how that pans out. But I don't know how Ken feels about all of this. I mean, because there are also attempts to extradite him to Ghana. And if what we've seen with this Julian Assange guy is anything to go by, where he was literally handcuffed and brought to, wherever he appeared. I mean, it's not the kind of scene you want to cite, of somebody who served this country in whatever capacity. Never mind what the person has done or what the person has not done. And I don't know whether in addition to the health reasons, there are other reasons why Ken himself doesn't want to be personally, and physically available to interact with the Office of the Special. I don't know what his reasons are. Otherwise, you see, come on, you see, the reason I'm saying this is simple, and that's just my concluding remark on this matter before we move on. You see, for a very long time, health grounds have never really been a reason why people can't attend state institutions to be physically present for them to do their job.
If
It's never really
You
been.
haven't brought it up, but that's what it is.
I agree with you.
It's a grounded reason.
I agree with you.
If you haven't brought it up, you haven't brought it up.
No, you're not getting my point.
Like the one who sent you a message of prostate cancer.
Yes.
He should make it known.
Yes. No,
if you are not well, you are not well.
No, what I'm trying to say to you. What I'm trying to say is that for a very long time, because of the kind of politics we have done in this country, when people say they are unwell and so they are unable to attend to, say, Yoko, CID, NID, and things, we don't care. We still go and drag them from wherever. And that is why Ken is struggling to make a case that because he's unwell, we should allow him to tell whoever is investigating him how much time he needs to recover. So in principle, yes, I agree with you that when you're unwell, purely based on compassionate grounds, you ought to give the person some time for the person to hopefully, inshallah, recover. But we've never really listened in the past. And so it's making it difficult for people to listen in the present. Anyway, let's move on. I guess that we would have some other things too. We have quite a number of other things. So there's another person who is not on wanted list. He has been arrested, but he's been granted bail, albeit with some drama. And they're talking about Wontumi. Now, Wontumi has been freed, finally. Yesterday, he didn't sleep at the Yoko cells. And he's satisfied apparently the 50 million bail. And the story is on page 3 of today's daily guide. And it says that Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Ntribo-Esiakon, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has satisfied the 50 million bail condition imposed by the Economic and Organized Crime Office and has been released after spending 7 days in detention. Chairman Wontumi was detained by Yoko following investigation to alleged financial impropriety and suspected money laundering linked to his private business interests. His arrest and subsequent detention triggered intense public and political interest, with supporters calling for his immediate release. The Battle Regional Chairman was granted bail late last week, but remained in Yoko custody while his legal team worked to meet the stringent conditions attached, including the provision of 2 justified sureties and the submission of valuable collateral. His release was secured over the weekend. After all required documentation was submitted and approved. We've just completed an inspection of the properties. The next step is for the officials to verify their value to determine if they meet the bail conditions, said Member of Parliament for Abetifi, Dr. Mary Champon, who is one of the sureties. Before his release, Wontumi's legal team had withdrawn a motion seeking a review of the 15 million bail condition. The motion, which was filed at the High Court in Accra on May 30, 2025, was scheduled for hearing on Tuesday, June 3. However, private legal practitioner Gary Nemaku, acting on behalf of the NPP chairman, formally filed the application for withdrawal on Monday. The original motion had challenged the bail sum, describing it as excessive and potentially designed to delay or frustrate Wontumi's release. His lawyers insisted that the amount was disproportionate given the nature of the allegations and requested the court to revise the terms. Now, what we do know is that the legal counsel and the appeal could be explained that the decision to withdraw the motion followed the successful execution of all the bail requirements, and he confirmed that the documentation for the 2 justified sureties had been completed, rendering the court application unnecessary. So Wontumi is out, finally. Doc.
Right, that's okay. I think...
But the NPP is insisting that you're persecuting him, you're not prosecuting him.
Oh, persecuting who? You see, there's...
He wants to become national chairman. You are scared.
See,
if he becomes national chairman,
he'll
make the second term of the NDC difficult.
What the Deputy Minister for Attorney General and for Justice stated that is very clear. He's involved in fraud, money laundering, and causing financial loss to the state. There are terms that you must have evidence to prove them. And once somebody is involved in something like this, accused of something like this, you need to really get him, take his statements or whatever, and then you really need to get him to put some sureties. To me, he's been somebody who has touted himself to be one of the rich people in Ghana. He has committed serious blunders according to the allegations. So he should have enough money. Somebody wanted to buy Chelsea. I think he wanted to buy Chelsea some time ago. He was counting gold in his studios and then the rest.
Well,
he's involved in mining and then the rest.
But do you doubt he's filthy rich?
Oh, I think he's filthy rich. Just that perhaps now he wants to play the game like he's playing now.
Unfortunately, he can't bail himself. Otherwise, would have used his wealth.
Exactly. No problem. Yeah. But somebody must bail him. Yes. And that is the process that they have gone. Okay. Other people who, you have just said it, who met conditions of bail were refused bail and they were kept in prisons counterback. Gregory Afoko was kept at the counterback for so many months and even years. And he has suffered it. Woyomi, remember Woyomi? 2012, Chairman Sabosu. Woyomi's bail condition is too low. Chairman Sabosu, 2012, which was 54 million at that time. It was virtually 1:1.
Cities, yeah.
Cities. They say it was low. Why are they crying today that this one is high? It is the gravity of the suspicion of crime that, or the allegation against him that they are based on to put him, to give him that bail amount for him to satisfy. So I don't see it to be anything to worry about. After all, he has so many friends within the NDC, the NPP, who have resources, who can come forward. Finally, they've come forward. So I don't think that is a big problem. Wontumi has proven to be somebody who can say anything to anybody, who believes that the country belonged to him when his government was in power, showing powers, and everywhere he can sit in the studio and say whatever he likes. Common arrest, they have to take him to hospital. Common arrest, he has come out and he's limping. He has not seen anything yet. All the criminal things he has done in the forest, that they showed pictures and in the rest, with Akunta mining. To some of us, it is really what we call causing environmental devastation and reducing our forests to Sahara. This to us is damage.
Is that a law?
No.
Is there a law?
No.
Is that to some of you?
Yes, to some of us. He has destroyed the environment.
Okay.
Yes. If you go to EPA, there are charges for such crimes.
Causing our forests into Sahara.
No. I'm just saying it in a term to equate it to transforming a forest into a desert. Because you cut down all the trees, destroy the rivers. They don't no longer have a path to move, and contaminating the waters coming to water processing centers. You have caused a lot of havoc to our environment without following environmental protection guidelines in mining. All these things you need to be subjected to. Besides that, he has taken contracts. Several contracts. We have seen videos from Kumasi. People in Kumasi even happy that he has been arrested simply because most of the roads, they allege that some of the roads that the contracts were given to Wontumi to execute, and he failed to execute them. Whether he took the money or he didn't take the money, we believe that until the investigation comes out, they believe that he took the money and never executed.
And again, when you take contract, it's a crime.
No. If you take the contract and take money and take mobilization and take the rest, you don't do it.
It's a crime?
Definitely it's a crime.
Oh, it is civil, or are you sure it's a crime?
Why not?
I have a contract with this body.
Yes.
The body bills that I feel that I have not actually performed my side of the contract.
But the charges, he's taking a contract.
And you take the criminal offense of this country, and there's a law.
Are you aware whether he has taken the money or not? You are not aware. Me and you who were not there. Those charging him are telling us that he took contracts and he hasn't executed.
Maybe we are doing politics.
I'm not doing politics. I'm repeating what they've said.
Not law,
that he has defrauded the state.
Okay, no problem.
So in any way, he has defrauded the state.
Okay.
2, he has done money laundering. It means that he has transferred monies outside the countries in an unauthorized manner. He has caused financial loss to the state. He has been given something to do, and he has made Ghana to lose money out of it. These are the charges they have leveled against him. I'm only trying to explain these 3 charges they've leveled against him, trying to give examples that some people have come out in Kumasi. Who knows he took contract to do roads? Year of roads, so he has not done them. And he has gone to the forest to destroy. He's gone to Exim Bank or so, taking monies there to do what a Cocoa Board has given him some monies, and then the rest, and the monies are supposed to be retrieved back to government. So I think that arresting somebody who is alleged a political figure, look, let's not use our political parties to shield our corrupt and our unpatriotic activities. That is what I won't do. I won't use my party to shield me to be unpatriotic or to be corrupt. We'd rather use the political parties to actually serve the people, actually provide social service to the people. If he is involved in politics and he thinks that because he's a big man in politics, whatever he does, they will come and protect him. That is why I sometimes have a problem with the lawyers, though they are right to defend him. See, everybody must be proven guilty really by a judge. But some of the issues that we are confronting right now with Wontumi, we all know he has committed all that. We just waiting for a judge to pronounce him guilty. I pray, and I will say it again, that there shouldn't be political party leaders running around behind the scenes negotiating. Because Wontumi, all what he has done behind the cells, We can see several serious pretense. Shock, he has gone to a hospital bay to lie down. Now he's coming out walking that he has stroke. There shouldn't be sympathy. There is no stroke in him. After that, we saw him again walking very well. The Yoko must take him to court, retrieve those monies. Let's have money to pay. Let's have money.
He didn't look well. He didn't look well.
Oh no, definitely he will look well.
He's
You
lost
see,
a lot of weight.
definitely he will look well. If you are a very powerful person, and suddenly your powers are taken away from you, boom, definitely you'll be in shock. That one I agree. We need a psychologist, or we take him to Pantang. They get him some tablets to calm him down, and he'll be fine. So he doesn't look well. Perhaps he was sad he has been arrested. He is sad because what he has been doing that he thought he had powers.
He's actually been limping.
The powers have been taken away from
he's
him.
limping. He's limping.
Yes.
He's limping.
No, these limpings, you see, I know those who have stroke and are limping.
Okay.
These type of limpings, they are just to let the media men depict it. How did he wear his clothes and all those things? He's fine and all that. A limping man does not hold like that. I'm telling you, they would have brought a wheelchair to take him if he really had a stroke. He wouldn't attempt to work. He's trying to impress. No.
Are you suggesting
he's not?
He's faking it?
Because after this, people trailed them to some place, and he was walking well. After he left that hotel, he was walking well. They should prove it that he's really limping. We have a medical team. We are waiting for the next. When he goes to court, you should tell them that he's sick, and should bring the medical record that he has a stroke, and we'll see. Yes, there is. So that's look, this is the case of Wontumi.
Okay.
Please, Yoko, ensure that you present a concrete, a tight evidence to these accusations. And let's make sure we use corrupt figures, corrupt persons to deter potential corrupt people in Ghana so that we keep our resources for everybody to get something small to put in his mouth. That's what I was saying.
For now, he's innocent. He's not
corrupt. Oh, no, he's innocent, but he has been accused. Okay. So we don't also have to throw it out that it is not true.
So, Kamaldeen, you asked about the whereabouts of Kojo Chumbuafu.
Yeah.
You wanted to say hello to him.
Me? I wanted to say hello to Kojo.
No, I thought you said hello to Kojo Chumbuafu.
Kojo is a bad boy. Oh, he's a bad boy.
Oh, he's not here.
He's my friend, but he's a bad boy. Why? Anyway, let me deal with
him. Kojo is somewhere. He said hello, so you're just wondering.
I said he's a bad boy.
He also says hello to you.
Just say my response is that he's a bad boy. So let's move on.
So I shouldn't read what he has said.
What? You read.
Okay.
I don't have a problem.
So let me do that quickly before you tell me. You stepped on the tail of a lion. I can tell you what. Anyway, so Kojo Chumbuafu says, please, that's to you, was Sedina's trial conducted on Zoom? Was Abongo William Tevi not jailed for 4 years, despite the fact that he was a kidney transplant patient? Alhaji Osman was critically ill. They jailed him. His lawyers asked for house arrest. It was refused. Okay. The now acting CJ's brother was the ex-chairman of NCA. He was in prison when his brother died. He sought the compassionate leave of the state to attend the funeral. It was refused. Does anyone know that John Boydu has also been questioned by law enforcement? Why didn't the foot soldier storm the office of the law enforcement agencies when John Boydu was there? That same John Boydu in the video.
Okay.
All right. And let me just do this quickly. This one here says, why should Kensi should be different? Chikata was dragged from church, court, jail to intensive care. Victor Salome died in jail. Their health conditions were well known. If he was able to serve Ghana despite his health issues, he should avail for accountability without fear or favor. That's coming from Haja Laura in Tema. And Sebastian Syme, your friend, he says hello. He's with the Cyber Security Authority. Yes. Well, formerly with Daily Graphic. Yes, he says hello. And then Nilante van der Poy, he says, hello, Moro. Please kindly ask Kamal if he has ever sought medical care outside Ghana. In as much as a suspect has a right to remain silent, the prosecution can continue with its prosecution if it's proven beyond all reasonable doubt that the suspect has intentionally evaded and refused to avail himself.
I just said what I said.
The person should be tried in absentia.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be tried.
Yes. So basically saying
he's corroborating what I said.
Yes, what you said. And Hassan said, Salam alaikum. Is Wontumi faking stroke just as Ofori-Atta is faking cancer? Who say man no day? Hassan. Yes, Hassan. And then Simmons. Again, Simmons, who is the Dean of the Parliamentary Press Corps. He laughs, first of all. He says, you remember Bugi Nabu going to his elections ground on a wheelchair? But immediately he lost the election. He got up and walked to his car. That's Ghana politicians for you.
You see?
Anyway.
You see why we are doubting? The health minister to send a team to go and assess
Ofori-Atta. If you listened earlier on when we were on Ofori-Atta's matter, and I made a point that, look, we are an evolving democracy, like I said. We have had about 32 years of it. We've had MPP, we've had NDC, and I made a profound statement. Not all that MPP did when they were in power was correct in terms of handling the human rights or protecting the human rights of someone. And not all that the NDC also did or is doing that is correct.
In terms of human rights.
In terms of human rights. I'm saying, yeah, of course. I will come to this bail matter and tell you why it's not so much correct. I'll tell you. You see, I took my time to look at the antecedent that we have in terms of bail. It wasn't for any reason that Martin Kpebu, the legal practitioner, went to court for the interpretation of some acts, okay, in our statute, which he contended that were inconsistent with the provision of the Constitution because of fundamental human rights.
So now every crime is bailable?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was, even before Martin Kpebu did it, Martin Amidu wrote a paper in 1989, 1990 on bail. On
the same subject matter.
On the same subject matter. Yeah. And not just that. I am trying to say, people are asking, why is this person, when he was granted bail, you see, point is that we are all fundamentally supposed to have our freedom. But the danger we are causing to us as politicians, NDC and MPP, we are not many. We are just few. The next moment in Garu, somebody is going to take over from my brother. Like he took over from someone. I may be taking over from somebody.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Doc is not happy with this thing.
No. Why not? He can take over means that he can decide not to contest again.
It sounds like a threat.
No, it's not. I'm saying that he can decide not to contest. He can also decide. He may even contest and lose. Yeah. It's so. And I want him to lose. So
you mean power is transient?
I want him to lose. So you see, the point I'm trying to make is that we
keep
politicians.
Calling my brother. Meanwhile, I want the person to lose.
Oh no, but when it comes to politics,
your point is that power is transient.
I'm trying to make a point that we should try. In as much as, you see, US is where they are today. They went through all what we are going through. Germany is where they are today. They went through what we are going through. UK, the same. I mentioned the Crown Prosecution Service in the UK. Today, their major concern is who is arrested. What is the right of the person? Has the person been... We will get there ourselves. So, of course, what is happening today is the back and forth of it. Someone will say that if MPP can, we will make the bill 1 billion. We'll make this. These are all evolutions. But the point I want to make is that let's just also psych ourselves. That look, in all this, it is because there's a human being. In all this, there's a human being. I read Justice Duche's part of the judgment in Martin Kpebu. Duche said that, look, yes, even though we are saying that all offenses must be bailable, however, Section 96(4), okay, 5, 6 of the Criminal Offences and Procedure Act should actually not be reneged upon. What does it say? It says that the gravity of the crime the person has caused must be taken into consideration. That is the argument the NDC is making today, which my friend is saying. It says that when it's murder and you think that the person may abscond, be careful not to give bail. And so on and so forth. So it's not cast in stone that once it's not bailable offense, the person cannot hold you. You can be held. But don't be held on frivolous or unmeritorious procedures. Why? I will tell you why. You have mentioned the Deputy Attorney General. My question to the Deputy Attorney General is his Facebook account, the official page of the ministry. Is his Facebook account the official page of the Ministry of Justice?
Is he the first person to do that? No, is he the first person to do that?
It doesn't make it right.
Is it the best person?
It doesn't make it right.
No.
You are running to town with it.
Even Donald Trump tweets on his own, and people follow it.
No, you are running into town with the dog.
We are not running into town.
The problem that causes
the town is listening.
No, I'm saying you are running to town with it. You see, the problem that causes is that we have been prescribed a channel. Arrest the person, charge the person of whatever, tell the person what wrong he has committed. Yeah. Prepare a charge sheet if you so wish. Yeah. Within 48 hours per Article 14(3) of the Constitution, you take the person to court.
All right.
This wasn't done. So procedurally, somebody sitting somewhere concerned about the human rights we are all talking about will be concerned.
Sure.
And we will have to make one. Look, if NDC were in opposition, I'm telling you, God forbid, and someone like that was arrested, the same way you would have seen the reaction. It is so. So I am saying that, look, yes, it has gotten to a point where he has been granted bail. I made a comment yesterday somewhere, and some people were, either took me out of context or thought that I said my party way of handling this for me was not too proper for me. And why? Somebody's liberty is at stake, one. The person is a party person. We ought to show solidarity. But in showing solidarity, let us all come together and have a common channel. These are his lawyers. These are the party lawyers. How can we sit down together? Let's look at what the law says. How can we secure his liberty? As simple as that.
I understand you.
We didn't do this. Yeah. We will hear this person saying that somewhere, another person saying this somewhere, somebody say, I'm coming this. Were we doing politics with it? No. So this one, I think, in a way, I subtly chastise my party on how we arrange it, even though he has been. But finally, to end on this, I want to appeal to IOCO and other prosecutory bodies, OSP, the police, and whatever. They should have it at the back of their mind that our fundamental human rights is key. And I'm not saying this for MPP or saying it for NDC. I'm saying it for every single Ghanaian.
All right.
Whoever is arrested, people are going through a lot. Like the text message that came. One Alhaji Dauda says that he has prostate cancer, but yet he goes to court. I don't know the facts of the matter. But these are things that humanely, court ought to be look at some of these things, and we see how we can go.
Tomorrow.
You have just 3 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. You see, these things will stop if they stop it. Let me come.
Let me come.
Rollins left. Kufuor came. He did similar things, just the social media wasn't there. Atta Mills came and said, everything lie low. Do you remember?
Father for all?
Father for all.
Yeah. Policy.
And everything really went low. People who were even supposed to be taken to court and all those things, everything laid low. And everything was calm. Then Mahama took over. When Mahama left, Akufo-Addo came. What happened? Even, you are talking of human rights.
Atta Mills, everything went low.
Yes. How many people were prosecuted?
It's not about people.
How many human rights were violated? Ayawaso West Wagon. People who were even just going to vote. You are talking of police have to be calm.
You have forgotten what you did in Abubulishi.
No.
The people they killed. You want us to go there?
You can go if you want. But the issue is that you are saying that your government is saying that when you come and people want to forgive people, allow things to lay low, and you come and do worse.
Your record is bad.
So now the youth under NDC would definitely not also allow their leaders to sit down and allow you people.
Also, you are being pushed. It's not by the law.
They are not pushed.
It's politics are doing now.
You have
just said it.
We have all said it.
You are pushing them to do what they are doing.
You equally said it that when you come to do it, when we come to do it, everybody will do it because if you punish somebody's father and somebody's father also come, you would like him to be punished. Let's
at the expense of your right.
It is not. Look, it is not at the expense of anybody's right.
Right. So
bail demand is legal.
Okay.
Anyway,
yes, bail demand is legal.
Yeah.
You have to comply to it. It is not against the law that you should be bailed 50 million Ghana cedis.
Okay, so
it's not against the law.
Okay, so let me do this quickly. So Al Hassan from Tema says, both Al Hassan from Tema says the OSP is gradually losing trust with the people of Ghana. He's been too lenient in dealing with Ken Ofori-Atta.
Exactly.
Some believe the OSP is shielding Ken. Ken has caused so much harm to the state. Look at the National Cathedral, the ambulance saga, the monies he paid to Akufo-Addo's daughter, the SML, etc. We need all this money to develop Mother Ghana. We expect the OSP with all the state powers invested in him as the OSP to cause Ken's arrest. That's both Al Hassan from Tema. And Al Hassan Hureya, who is one, I think, Greater Accra NDC must be Zungo Caucus chairman also. He says, good morning. Please ask Kamaluddin that why are they hiding the medical records of Ken to the public and the office of the special prosecutor? They should make it public for us to know whether he is unfit or not. And he goes ahead to tell the story of Victor Salome, where former Deputy Minister for Finance under Jerry Rawlings was very sick. He was being prosecuted. He took the medication, open court, and so on and so forth. That's then Mansa Musa. He watches us from the UK. He's a journalist himself. He says, bro, this morning Kamal has been very disappointing. Please ask him if he's been listening to Wontumi's lawyer, and the appeal could be that Wontumi was arrested lawfully with a warrant from the court. Good morning from Mansa Musa. And Tafa from Amia Amran here. Now, Tafa, the nature of your message, I'm unable to read it. It's a bit below par. It's a bit below par. I'm sorry, I can't read it. I'm so sorry about that. And then let me just do this finally. Now, my very good friend Suraju Yusuf, he apparently he's going to be installed as the Bari Kanuri chief of Mamubi, Ayawaso municipal.
Congratulations to
yes, Bari.
Congrats to Suraj.
And apparently I'm told that Damu Masalachi is going to be the Galadima. Right. So congratulations, happening on the 21st of June. So congratulations, Suraj, for this. He's a wonderful chap. He's a great guy. And so I was very happy when I saw this. So very soon he's going to be a chief. Yeah. So is he going to combine that with what he does? I know he's into, medical air conditioning repairs and things. But yeah, he still has to eat. Yeah. So it won't matter. So Evans Dinko in Garu says, Dinko from Garu says, Moro, my regards to Dr. Alba. Today is the birthday of the golden what? Oh, the golden fee. Today's Fifi Avikote's birthday. Yeah. Oh, I see. I had no idea. I didn't know. Yeah. Oh, I see. I see. It says the General Secretary Golden Fifi Avikote, let's give him the shout he deserves and pray for his long life and blessings. General, may the good Lord bless every wish and petition you made before him. I see. So happy birthday, Fifi Avikote, former propaganda secretary of the NDC and now the General Secretary of the party, former Deputy Finance Minister as well. Happy birthday, Fifi Avikote. It's been a long time. I haven't seen him more than 3-4 years. Bro. Yes. And also today is the Deputy Minister of Justice, and also the Attorney General, Justice Shram.
The one who wrote on Facebook.
Yes, Dr. Justice Shram. Yeah, but most of these.
Today's his birthday, right?
I don't know why you
we treated him so well when we were in power. We gave him scholarship to go.
So that's the money you're short.
No, we did so well, and the MPP did so well. Yeah, we considered him. He's a brilliant guy. Yeah? Except that I don't know what they are teaching in the classroom. They don't practice it.
But we got scholarship from NDC.
What they teach in the classroom, they don't practice. I don't really know why they do that.
Happy birthday, Dr. Justice Shemsai. Yes, they're giving you a lot of fans here. More shout-outs. More shout-outs. Anyway, so I want to thank you very much for your time. Right. It's been wonderful having the two of you here. Dr. Thomas Winsomanaba, who is the MP for Gari and also a member of the Health Committee, and also Kamaluddin, he's the Deputy Communications Director of the... Oh, you want to wish... That's fine, because it's Friday.
Today is Friday. Eid is Friday. Yes. So let me wish the good people of Ghana, especially Garu, happy Eid. May your celebrations and the wishes from God be answered so that you bring peace, development, and progress to the...
I would also like to wish all our pilgrims who are in Mecca, Hajj Mabrur, and pray that they pray for us and pray for the nation and pray for the president as well and pray for everyone. Pray for our imams and also pray for our political parties, leaders and all that. I wish Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, wherever he is, even though Friday is the Eid, but in advance I will say Eid al-Adha to him and his family and to all Muslims in the MPP fraternity, especially the Nasara wing. I have headed the Nasara wing before and you know how it goes. So clearly we Muslims, this time is for sacrifice. And this sacrifice is indeed an important, if you like, event in our Islamic, practice. People should know that what you ask Allah for is what, as it were, you ought to do in return when you have promised. Right. Like Abraham did, and Allah received it and also supported or blessed him, as it were. So I think that Eid al-Adha is a time for us to have sober reflections, and it's time for us to also give to the poor, as it were.
All right. So Annie wants me to remind you that she's still waiting for her cow.
Oh, she did.
Yes, a cow. Yes,
She's
a
going to
cow.
be Hajia Annie.
Hajia Annie.
Inshallah, Hajia Annie. Very soon.
You get a slot.
Hajia Samira.
Hajia Annie.
When you
No, she said she prefers Samira. She just
she prefers Samira. So Hajia Samira.
Hajia Samira.
The two.
Yes. Yes. Hajia Samira. Kuntu Kunito.
And you'll be going to make her next year. Get to see
myself.
Get to see yourself.
Myself. No, if she becomes a Muslim today, maybe tomorrow she'll be in Mecca.
You have the connections there.
Oh God.
Right,
Thanks for
right,
watching
right.
Good Morning Ghana. Bye bye. Have a good day. Assalamu alaikum.
Every day in Ghana, a quiet revolution unfolds. A story of transformation, resilience, and unwavering commitment to creating a cleaner, greener nation. This is the story of the Jospon Group of Companies, a company at the heart of Ghana's sanitation revolution. It began in 2006 with one man and one manual tricycle. The mission was simple yet profound: to tackle Ghana's growing waste management crisis and restore dignity to those